Be strong and courageous. That's a scripture I read from Joshua 1 a couple days ago, and I'm gonna use that as my mantra to start the year off. And honestly, it's gonna apply for the rest of the year. There is so much anxiety for me when the new year comes around sometimes to, launch something, start something new, really get in the rush to kind of make all these plans and all these goals. And I have made all these goals and I have made some plans, but I realized I actually need to take it slower. I didn't have as much time towards the end of the year to really fully flush everything out. Social media, January 1st is go time. So it's like, you really have to get rolling. I'm like, that's actually not working out for me. So I had to take some time still into the new year to really even figure out what exactly I want and what exactly I want to do. And I am still figuring it out. I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the full game plan, just taking it day by day, and it's okay. It's all this anxiety that we put and pressure we put on ourselves, that I put on myself, honestly, is to go, push. I'm never actually even taking time to reflect, taking time just to sit what I've done for the year. Look, we work all year long, super hard. Sometimes we're even failing to actually even enjoy the fruits of our labor. And for me right now is get more sleep. I'm actually working on getting more sleep. I'm in bed by 9. And of course, I'm up earlier though, but I'm realizing last year, due to, hustle culture and just hustle mode, I was going to sleep 12-1 sometimes, and I'll be up at 3-4 to work out. I was a part of 4 a.m. club where we work out super early. And it's the workout is not the problem. It's just I wasn't managing my time correctly. And I'm realizing this year I need to take inventory of where my time is going and actually, allocate it correctly. So starting this year off, that's one thing I'm applying, taking it slower and actually having a better game plan rather than trying to rush and burn out, and then you just stuck in that old cycle, So I was listening to Pastor Darius' New Year's Eve sermon, and he was talking about unfinished business. And there are actually a few things that I need to actually complete still from 2024. Even my older content, I have so much content I recorded that I never actually had the chance and opportunity to edit and post because I was so busy. That I'm realizing, you need to actually go back and revisit that content. You actually need to go back and analyze those a little bit more instead of rushing to create this new content, these new goals, these new things that you want to do. Go back and handle the unfinished business that you have. And that's one of the messages that stuck with me a lot. I was like, there's quite a few things I have not done that I need to go back and visit. So it's okay if you don't have newer goals, if you don't have a newer vision, if you don't have a new mantra, if your mantra from 2024 is still your mantra for this year, it's totally okay. When you're so used to doing things the same way over and over again, it feels weird to try something new or just even adopt a new style. That's something I'm having to, really figure out for myself and realize, just because the way you used to do this thing served you in this season doesn't necessarily mean you need to do that again. So it's definitely a process. I'm learning myself a little bit more this year. There are so many things I learned in 2024 that I really feel have gave me the courage to really, push myself even further this year. Like I said, this year is all about being strong and courageous. And 2024 for me was a year just figuring a lot of things out for myself, really working on building that endurance. It's so weird, but I have all these goals. I have tons of ideas of stuff I want to create, content I want to post, content I want to do, places I want to travel to. But it's my mind gets overwhelmed, right? So it's all these things in my head. It's I'm trying and rushing to bring them all to life at once. That's a major lesson I learned in 2024 was take it one step at a time. And that's saying, it sounds so overrated and it sounds so cliche, but it's the time you took to stress about all these things that you have to do and you want to bring to life, if you actually took that time just to focus on one thing and get that one thing done, you would have been further along. Like, you would have actually gotten further. So for example, like yesterday, my to-do list is crazy. I never actually finished my to-do list, but I was like, you know what? I'll just focus on only finishing one project and I'm good. And I actually got it done, and I realized it took a lot of stress off me. In the past, I would start that project and about halfway through, I'd be like, oh, maybe I could actually go attack this one and it's smaller so I could finish that faster. We'll do that. We'll get caught up in emails, texts, boom, the day's over and I actually got nothing finished. Even though I started a little bit here, a little bit there, I actually never finished. So this year, complete one thing a day. Today, my main focus was content. I was like, you know what? I want to create content. I want to find my style, find my flow. Because I actually sat down at my desk with a whole script and everything. I'm realizing that's not even me. I don't like reading the script. It doesn't feel natural. I wanted to feel like I'm having a conversation, you know? So I brought it down to the kitchen and trying something new. So this year, try something new. It's okay if the first style doesn't work out. You don't have to force yourself to make it happen. Keep reinventing the wheel, keep trying to find something new. And I feel like the more you do that, the more you explore and the more you figure out yourself. Endurance was a major focus for me last year. Last year, I lost over 20 pounds of fat. Some muscle in there too, but I lost 20 pounds. And it was one of my biggest transformations to this day. It was mental, physical, spiritual. It took everything I had to really make that transformation happen. Out of the second half of the year, I did 75 hard. And what really drove me to do that challenge was I realized I had never really committed to anything fully. It was like, I'm a start, stop type of person. I was no longer that, but I really felt like I was a start. Like I was saying, all these little things, all these things, I'll just start and stop it, but I never had the full endurance to finish. And with 75 hard, I had tried it 2-3 years ago. Day 1, day 2, never made it through a week of it, honestly. And I was like, you know what would really happen if I gave it my all? How would I look? How would I feel? Like if I really committed to this thing for the next 75 days, how would I come out on the other side? And I never felt that before. So I was like, yo, it's time. And also I was big, my stomach was big. Like I was looking in the mirror, I didn't feel good about myself. Like you can tell when you don't feel comfortable in your own skin. It felt like I had all these like blockades. Like I was blocking myself from fully achieving and being the person I was called to be by God. And 75 hard was going to be the first step to unlocking that. I had read this book by David Goggins. I started listening to him heavy last year because I was working out, trying, really get in shape. And I love his way of teaching because he really forces you to look at yourself. He forces you to really dive deep into who you are and who you want to be and who you were meant to be. And I realized I wasn't living up to my fullest potential. So I did 75 hard, and it's hard for sure. It's one of my biggest challenges that I've completed to this day, and it really exposed myself to who I really am and who I could be. Like I was realizing I wasn't even tapping into my full potential. Like I never thought I could even run like that. Like I became a runner, and my longest run, I would say right now, it's 7 miles. I mean, I'm tripping, 10 miles. I never knew I could be a runner, and all because I never tried. I never stuck with it. I never gave myself the space or created time to do all these things. And, with 75 hard, you're working out twice a day. You're reading, you're drinking a gallon of water, no cheat meal, no alcohol. Alcohol wasn't that bad. Like I don't really go out like that. So it doesn't really affect me as much. But the cheat meals, what I would say was the hardest thing sometimes. But there are a few things I learned through that process, and one will be, don't do it by yourself. You know, as much as a lot of us want to be self-made or want to be independent, I realized having an accountability group was what allowed me to succeed and have friends who are also doing it as well. It really challenged me because I didn't want to be that person who failed. I didn't want to be that person who couldn't do it. So I really had to lock in for sure. That's really good when you're surrounded by people who are, you would consider better than you. They might not be actually better than you, but they might be in a different stage of life where you're trying to be. And that's sometimes the people we need to surround ourselves with, the people who are at the next level of where we want to be at. And in doing so, it forces you to rise to their level instead of falling down to the level of people, you know, who are sometimes not necessarily below you, but not at the level you used to be at. I thought that's a better way of putting at it. So that was, man, a major lesson in there, man. Just accountability and surrounding yourself with a pack of people who are really going to challenge you and force you to really push yourself to the next level. And this year, one of my goals is to run a marathon and run 1,000 miles by the end of the year. So on average, that's about 85 miles this year. So that's one of my goals, is to do that. And I'm realizing if I surround myself with people who are also on the same journey that I'm on, I can actually have that endurance and that staying power to push and follow through. Cause man, last year, once again, I would try to just use my will. I would try to use my drive and motivation to push through. And bro, if you're not sleeping correctly, you're not eating right, you're moving around, doing all this work, you have responsibilities, that stress is gonna eat you up. You're never actually gonna finish anything you start or really achieve all your goals, because life just becomes overwhelming. And I'm realizing, I'm working out with people at 4 o'clock in the morning. You bet I'm gonna show up, because they showing up. And now if you don't show up, they're making fun of you. So it's not bullying, but it's just like, you don't want to be that one person who in a group of where everybody's supposed to be performing at a high level, you're slacking off. So surround yourself with people who are at the level you want to be at. And all these things are like repeated so much and it sounds so cliche, but it's so true and it works. Because the goal is not who can go like the fastest sometimes. Because you can go fast, but you're bound to get tired, and who's gonna pick you up when you're tired? That's one thing I had to learn a lot last year, and I feel like this year I'm already kind of starting off in a better position than I did last year, because I have surrounded myself with that community, and I have surrounded myself with the people who are pushing, and I feel like that's even forcing me to create content because they're on their content vibe too. So it is definitely giving me the strength to push and keep going. Cool. It's coming along pretty nicely. Another major lesson I learned in 2024, I would say, is time will pass. Whether you act or not, time will pass. The time is moving regardless. The earth is spinning. Whether you choose to or not, the sun is rising and it sets. Whether or not you do what you're supposed to do, what you're meant to do. Because I feel like, bro, every one of us, we know, we can feel it on the inside of us. There's like a calling, there's like a passion, there's something we were meant to do. Sometimes we never actually listen to that voice or even pursue that calling, and it eats at us. Like, we can feel it in our bones, bro. Like, we can feel it. We can really feel like, bro, you're meant to do this thing, record this content. You're meant to chase this dream, chase this passion, but you're just so scared. You're nervous. You're worried about what other people are going to think about you. You're worried about what people are going to say. And I was in that same position. And sometimes I still am. Like, I don't think it ever fully goes away. You just drive and overcome it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, for me, there are some people who are very, very, at least show that they're very, strong-willed, very, not nervous, not shy about anything. But I ain't gonna lie, I get shy. I be nervous about things, I was nervous about pursuing my career as a filmmaker. Like, I was living in Ghana, and my parents brought me to the United States to pursue this dream, pursue this career, that was supposed to make me rich and make me stable and give me that security and, help, give back. But got here, realized, that's not actually what I'm meant to do, and that's not my calling. And it took me about 2 years to fully step into that. You would think I have the confidence because I pursued videography and I pursued weddings and filmmaking. I would have the confidence to put myself in front of the camera, and that was something I had to learn and overcome to get to this point of just even being here and recording this content, because those are different things. Sure, it gives you the boost and confidence, but at every stage and every new season, sometimes you have to take a step back, rediscover who you are, and then push forward into that season. You don't just jump and rush into it. The things you did in the last season and got you through the last season are not the things that are gonna get you through this season. And that's what I had to realize. I had to get some maturing. I had to grow, read, explore more, understand myself a little bit better. And now I feel like I'm in the place where I can really take that action and act. I'm realizing I've been wanting to do YouTube for years, and I complain about not having time. I complain about, oh my God, it's stressful. But bro, imagine if I just posted even once a month 4 years ago. I ought to be so much further than I am right now. But I just never do, and I never followed through. And I realized it was because of that endurance. I didn't have that staying power. I didn't have that consistency. And that's why I did the 75 hard challenge. And now I'm doing the 30-day challenge, and I'm doing a 40-day fast as well too, because I'm realizing if I can build that muscle of staying consistent and actually staying with it, oh my goodness, I'm about to be dangerous. Y'all, I'm about to be dangerous if I can build that muscle. And it's a muscle, it's something you gotta work at. So that's one of the major reasons, like I recommend, a 21-day challenge, a 30-day fast, because momentum breeds success. An object in motion stays in motion. So once you figure it out in this one area, you can apply the momentum in the other area of your life. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure this food don't mess up. I'm talking too much. But it literally, that's what it is. So if you find yourself struggling in one area, maybe target a small area where you can win. You can get some small wins going, get some momentum going, and then come back and challenge the bigger thing. So that's what I did last year, switch it to a different area, focused on health and fitness. And now I feel like I'm ready to attack the content world and really find my vibe and find my speed here. So, man, I'm super excited. Got quite a few goals for this year, like I said, running 1,000 miles all year long. I did about almost 300 in 5 months. So push for 1,000, run a marathon this year, be consistent on YouTube all year long. So whatever I got to figure it out, if it's once a month, twice a month, once every 3-4 weeks, whatever I can manage and handle, get that going, stay lean throughout. Because I realized after the 75 hard, I kind of let myself go a little bit and kind of started enjoying the food too much. Stay lean and consistent throughout, gain a little bit of muscle. I'm going to Jamaica this year, doing a few trips this year. So I really want to stay in shape for all of those and stay consistent throughout. Like, once again, that consistency is the theme for me, because I'm realizing even though I can accomplish certain things, I let myself go and then, just don't push for it. Travel, do some solo traveling, get away from all the noise, get some peace, sleep more. Sleep is going to be a major emphasis. I might look into getting that Aura ring, or those rings people have nowadays. I've heard it's pretty good. I might look into it. But yeah, man, so that's it for today. Definitely didn't finish cooking, but just gonna go ahead and finish up cooking. Y'all let me know what goals, what lessons did y'all learn in 2024? What goals do y'all have this year? I could ramble on and on, but don't want to just be rambling on about nothing. So this is a new style, this is a new approach. I don't want to take the path of just sitting down on the computer, looking in the camera and talking. I kind of want to start incorporating my lifestyle a little bit more. So, I'm also doing a bunch of 75 hard challenges throughout the year. So we'll be showcasing some more fitness vibes. So y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all tap in with me. We going crazy.